Good morning, the viewers of United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the name is African David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And I'm here to obviously talk about Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United transfer almost there. Then there is Mason Greenwood transfer hint, and Luke Shaw has gone ahead to speak out, having gone ahead to play his first England game after a while, and he came on through and really played when they're taking on the side of Switzerland that they knocked out to obviously get in the semi-finals that are going to be played tomorrow and on Wednesday. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name. I hope you guys are really having fun, and we're here to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. So today is really a Monday, and it's the 8th, and we're here to obviously start bringing you these morning lives like I've always gone ahead to promise. Though in the recent past I haven't been able to obviously get you these lives, but this time around I'm here to bring you these lives. Vemex Perez, thank you for watching through. Joseph Ogdogu, thank you for obviously coming in through and obviously watching in through to obviously take us to where we deserve to be into this summer transfer window. And today players are returning at Carrington, and there is a very huge question mark onto Jadon Sancho and Mason Greenwood, and we're gonna be here to obviously have a talk about that on what is gonna be happening at Carrington today. So how many likes? 200 likes matching this video, and don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of this month. And guys, let's obviously make it a point that our channel really hits that milestone. Now, we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and let's start it off with Fabrizio Romano. Late in the night, Fabrizio came out and told us the following, that Man United and Joshua Zirkzee almost there. Man United have now informed Bologna about agreement reached with Zirkzee over personal terms. All done. Also, Joshua Zirkzee's agent, Manchester United, talking to Bologna about new deal structure, or they can trigger the 40 million release clause. So, let me even look for Jacob's Ben in here for you. Before Fabrizio Romano came out and told us that this deal is almost there, Jacob's Ben came out and obviously put out something that I would love to obviously come through and share with you about this transfer of Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United. He came out and told us that United have gone ahead to obviously inform the side of Bologna that it's high time they went ahead to obviously trigger the deal, or they wanted to trigger the deal of Joshua Zirkzee, and this is what this guy came up and obviously put up in here. Where is it? All right, here it is. I have it. This is Jacob's Ben. He came out and really said the following, that Manchester United have told Bologna they are prepared to pay or match Joshua Zirkzee's 40 million release clause. Zirkzee focused on Euros 2024, causing a delay in any question, but his agent Kia Jerobashian is in direct talks with Manchester United. Understanding the commissions spoken of around 10 million euros, Milan have refused to pay this high despite getting buy-in from Zirkzee pre-window. Zirkzee is now currently top striker priority for the club of Manchester United. That is coming in through from Jacob's Ben. And then from Dimasio, let me obviously get you Dimasio and show you what exactly Dimasio had to say about this deal. Dimasio came out and told us that United have also gone ahead obviously sending confirmation to the side of Manchester United, to the side of Bologna, that they need to sign the player. And he told us that Man United have now formally informed Bologna that they are going to pay Joshua Zirkzee's 34 million pound release clause, or 40 million euro release clause. So it looks like a deal that we never thought to be the first deal to be sanctioned, all done by the club of Manchester United, is going to be looking like the deal that you're going to be doing first at the club of Manchester United. I tell you, because as things stand, right, Manchester United was planning to obviously get in Gerard Braithwaite first. A bid was put in of close to £45 million. Everton rejected it, and United never went in for a second bid. After that, we thought that the next close deal is going to be Manuel Ugarte, because United was linked to Manuel Ugarte and green light was given from both sides, and we are like, all right, maybe Manuel Ugarte is really going to be coming in through to become the first signing for the club of Manchester United. Then Joshua Zirkzee looked like to be one of those deals that we are going to take long, because we had to obviously negotiate and really out-compete the side of AC Milan. Lots of things. Look like it's going to be the last deal, but it's going to have to come out to be the first deal that Manchester United is closing in to obviously make. Then there is a deal of Matthias de Ligt. At a certain point X, we expected the deal of Matthias de Ligt to be the one that Manchester United was going to execute first, but all that ended in vain and wouldn't obviously coming through to pass. So I tell you, Joshua Zirkzee is a deal that Manchester United is gonna do fast. When you look at how Fabrizio Romano is saying that it's almost there, meaning that after having gonna hit to agree what we call personal terms, like I told you, was it yesterday night? Then Joshua Zirkzee has gonna hit to give green light to Manchester United, and all what is left is for Manchester United to do one thing: trigger the clause of 40 million euros equivalent to 34 million pounds, because there is nothing they're gonna do to obviously show the structure of the deal. All what they need, that is Bologna, is to come out and tell them, please, we are giving you this amount of money, right? And after giving you that amount of money that is well indicated to everyone, we are willing to obviously get you such and such amount of money in the past payoff, and see how you're going to complete it. And Bologna feel like they want this money to come in through, because there is the side of Bayern Munich that has 50% for the sale of Joshua Zirkzee to any team, right? And this is where things get tough. And Fabrizio told us that more on Joshua Zirkzee. Man United and Bologna will decide shortly which way they prefer to complete the deal. United agreed terms with Joshua Zirkzee. Now Man United can trigger the 40 million euro release clause to be paid in one solution. All negotiate new terms as Bologna owe 50% of the deal to Bayern Munich. So this is how things are really happening. And I told you that United need to find a better payment structure of the deal, because as it stands, it doesn't really come up to really put in a very huge exoneration for the club of Manchester United. Manchester United would love to discuss a deal that maybe will have add-ons, but the side of Bologna is like, how can we have add-ons when we are going to pay 50% of the sale to the side of Bayern Munich? Can you please really get us all the amount of money that we need? And I think that's what Manchester United should really rely on a lot if at all they want to see it, that Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United is a here we go anytime from now. But I believe things are really progressing on well. 34 million pounds in an absolute steal in as far as getting in a striker of the quality of Joshua Zirkzee is concerned. Remember, the strikers on the market looks like Joshua Zirkzee is the cheapest, because when you look at Victor Osimhen, he will cost 106 million pounds. When you talk about Victor Gyökeres, obviously he will cost close to 85 to 86 million pounds from Sporting Lisbon. When you talk about Ivan Toney, the team where he is right now is calling him for 60 million pounds. Alexandra Isak, they want close to 150 million pounds plus. You talk about Morayol, they'll call in for like 60, 70 million euros, right? Which other striker is on the market? Santiago Jimenez, there is a say that they are calling in for close to 60 million euros, you understand, from Feyenoord. So even Benjamin Šeško was going to cost Man United 55 million pounds, and they had gone ahead obviously put in their their proposal to the table. And if at all the player had gone ahead obviously admit that he really wants to play for the club of Manchester United, you all know what would have gone ahead to happen. Manchester United would have gone ahead to cough 55 million pounds. But the deal of Joshua Zirkzee is just 34 million pounds. What an absolute sale. That's what the agent is calling in for some £80 million to be given to the side of the agency, because the talented player is going to be moving on a chip from Bologna to the club of Manchester United. And it shows you how much they never expected this player to obviously hit the ground running and obviously get every attention from the player and see how things really pan out. And the other cheapest strikers that are on the market, Lukaku at Manchester United flopped. I don't know him here. Tammy Abraham is the kind of striker that I don't want, because I believe Joshua Zirkzee is better, and him being English, the English tax will obviously kick in, and he might even cost more than £34 million. Which other striker is really cheap on them? I don't believe that Brobbey will come into Manchester United at the price of £34 million from Ajax. I know Manchester United, having a bad history of buying Anthony for £86 million, would really cost any transfer of Manchester United getting a player from Ajax. They would call in for like £50 million. So I'll tell you, what Manchester United has to do is simple: triggering the clause. That is it. Let's trigger it, let's get it done, and move on to the next deal. Because how can we negotiate for the payment structure of £34 million? Yet we all know to it that the team that we are trying to buy it from has 50% owed by the former side, that really all that Bologna is owed 50% of the £34 million to the side of Bayern Munich. I think that is what we call logical sense, and I won't be surprised if at all we really get a here we go from Fabrizio Romano today as far as this deal is really concerned, because I see a lot of movement into this deal, and him saying it's almost there, it's a clear indication that a lot is really being done onto the market of Manchester United to see to it that everything really goes onto as planned for the club of Manchester United. So that's it all about Joshua Zirkzee to the club of Manchester United. But Erik ten Hag loves the player, Ruud van Nistelrooy loves the player, and everyone at the club really loves the player, and we just can't wait to see how things are really going to pan out and what the results are really going to be for the club of Manchester United. So for me, Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United is one of those that I would obviously rush to bring him through, and he has a decision to make on either to join United immediately after the Euros, or else he takes some more time to join us in the US. But if I told you a Joshua Zirkzee, and you know to it that by the time you get knocked out of the Euros, a player you're going to come in through and compete with at the club of Manchester United, known as Rasmus Højlund, is really going to be joining the club very soon. I think next week, I think around 21st, Rasmus Højlund will come in through and represent for the club of Manchester United. He will obviously take part into his first preseason. You wouldn't like to obviously see to it that this guy really gets to the preseason without you. If I told him Joshua Zirkzee, I'll tell Erik ten Hag I'm gonna really rest for like 1 or 2 weeks, and I join you and I really play those 2 games or 3 games. Manchester United is gonna be playing into the USA, and put yourself in a better position to obviously coming through and compete with Rasmus Højlund into the Community Shield, where you're supposed to make a very huge mark. So for me, I believe he should come in through and really run to the club of Manchester United immediately. So I'm having Vamex Perez, good morning. You said we will miss Greenwood a lot, and I have been Højlund, Garnacho, Zirkzee, Greenwood, Ahmad, that trio. I understand, but I tell you, for Mason Greenwood, there is something that you need to know. And what you need to know, it's all about a decision that is yet to be made by Erik ten Hag and the board of Manchester United. Therefore, Greenwood, it's really up and already made that it's going to be sold. But today, players return to the training at Carrington, and we are having Mark Critchley. He's a United correspondent for The Athletic. He has told us that Mason Greenwood is set to benefit from an extended break while the club continues to work on a possible sale. Jadon Sancho should return to Carrington today, even if his differences with Erik ten Hag are not yet resolved. So, for Mason Greenwood, he's expected to not come to Carrington, and the break is going to be extended. You know, I've gone ahead to see some photos of Mason Greenwood training with Shora Shoretire and other players of Manchester United that he really had a very good bond with in the academy as he really broke through into the first team. So for Mason Greenwood, as Marseille, Lazio, Valencia, Borussia Dortmund, etc. are really sorting themselves out, he is really gonna be really training on his own, and it looks like they're not gonna allow him to come to the club of Manchester United to train at Carrington, because it's all written all over the world that Manchester United doesn't want to see Greenwood back because of how the people will come in through and really put in a shift and really blame the management for the club of Manchester United on how they've gonna hit obviously allow him, as some fans don't want him back, and the female fans, the female players also felt like he really went a little bit over the line to see to it that all this really comes to pass. So that is the story of Mason Greenwood for you, and he's said to obviously stay away for some time, you know, until when his deal is completed. And when his deal is accomplished, that's when we are going to see him really leave the club of Manchester United, and there is no way he's really going to be given a chance to train with the club of Manchester United today. Remember, today players of Manchester United are returning to Carrington, especially those that never took part into the Euros or Copa America. And the list, I can really hint on those that we expect to see at the club of Manchester United. 1. Onana, Bissaka, Terrell Malacia, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Kamboala, John Evans, Casemiro, Anthony, Amad Diallo, Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount, Jadon Sancho, Donny van de Beek, though he's going to Girona, I believe he might really come in through or not coming in through, but looks like his deal to Girona is really close, and some other youngsters like Whitley's and so on and so forth. The like of Amas are going to be part of the club of Manchester United, training at Carrington today, and I tell you, they are going to put in what we call they're really going to put in what we call a very huge shift into the mix for the club of Manchester United. So those are the players we anticipate to be at the club of Manchester United, plus the likes of Tom Heaton and so on and so forth. So that is what is going to be happening. Now for Jadon Sancho, there is a hint that is going to hit obviously be dropped by this correspondent for the club of Manchester United at The Athletic. He added and said that it is currently unclear whether there will be the air talks between Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag when he returns to Manchester United today. Obviously, he's returning to Manchester United today, but the big question is, will Jadon Sancho swallow his pride? That is the huge question. Will Jadon Sancho swallow his pride? That is the big question that you're waiting for in here, on whether the lad will swallow his big pride that is really holding him and looking to be like he's really not a player wanted, yet he's wanted, but because of his indisciplinary actions that he did, and he failed to apologize to Erik ten Hag, he saw himself really miss out on the club of Manchester United season, and he went to play down into what we call the Bundesliga. He went here to play in the Champions League finale, and we thought that after his big exhibition in the Champions League, many clubs will come in through wanting to pay cash for this player, but every club that is showing up wants to sign him on a loan and then set conditions, and if at all he obviously meets those conditions or clauses, then United will get a permanent fee, like Juventus, like Borussia Dortmund. Those two teams are really wanting to get the player on a loan, and that is really very disgusting. If I told you are Manchester United and everyone who believes that Jadon Sancho is the right player to be at the club of Manchester United, because if I told you he was the better player to be at the club of Manchester United, the best version of him, I tell you what, he would have gone ahead to find himself in a position of really getting suitors to obviously take him permanently. And remember last summer, Tottenham Hotspur made a £45 million bid that was really rejected by the club of Manchester United. You remember? They wanted to sign him on a permanent, and United thought that maybe he's really going to be an important member of the squad, of which Ten Hag really showed us how important he saw Jadon Sancho in his squad, because he played him to really play as a false number 9 in the preseason games, and Sancho was really hardworking and his intensity had gone to the next level. But in the due course of the season beginner, you saw to it that he really had a drop-off and he was not training well and requested to get out of the game, out of the training session. That led us to the game of Arsenal that we lost by 3-1. And after that game of football, Erik ten Hag asked about Jadon Sancho. He said he didn't train well, and that was the fact. And Sancho was like, that was like a sign of huge disrespect, and he said, no way you say that about me. I tell you, I'm really gonna come out and really tell you the truth. And he was like pinning a post onto his X for close to 8-10 days, and after meeting with John Mata and Erik ten Hag, he took out that post, but he failed to really apologize, meaning that he saw to it that Erik ten Hag was in wrong and Jadon Sancho was in the right, and yet it was vice versa. Sancho was wrong and Erik ten Hag was right. So for me, Sancho is really that kind of player, talented, but indiscipline is really going to cost him a career. I tell you, he's so much indisciplined and his career is on the line. 24 years of age, he's not supposed to be acting like he's acting, you know. He should be really acting better and better and better and better. And I believe when he comes in through at Carrington today, he's really going to be given a different kind of place to train from. That's what I really believe in. And Erik ten Hag cannot allow him to train with the first team of Manchester United, yet he has some cases to answer, and he has gone ahead to fail to really issue an apology on what he did that is really very stinking. So you understand? So that is it for now, and that's what we are getting in from the man himself, known as Jadon Sancho. We wait to see how everything is going to be done today at Carrington, because players are returning today. 8th of July, players are back. Joseph says good morning. Silva Onyayit, I like the boys, guys. Thank you. Then Adepare Opeyemi, good afternoon, Rock and David. Good afternoon, my brother Patrick. Chahale, good morning, Patrick. Agabadan, good morning, Rokani and United Fellows. Thank you. Kasule Rashid, hey Rokan, what absolute deal of Lenny Yoro. I'm going to be coming up with that story. United is pushing and they are really trying to keep the deal or the dream of Lenny Yoro to come to Manchester United alive, but Real Madrid are really pushing to sign the player, and the player wants to play for Real Madrid. Freddy Kabaya, I'm just happy to see him at Old Trafford. All right. Military George, what about Tyrell Malacia? Malacia is okay. He's one of those players expected to return to Carrington today, right? And see how he really takes into the first training session at the club of Manchester United. Then Military George, which left back is Man United going to sign? There are stories that are going to obviously be put out that Manchester United is obviously going to go in for. We are going to be signing Sergio Reguilon on loan, or is it Zirkzee, the left back that plays for Bournemouth? So we are being looked into that angle, but it will depend on the fitness levels of Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw. And talking about the left back, right? Luke Shaw really went ahead to play some minutes when England was knocking out Switzerland, and this is what he had to say. It felt amazing, to be honest. It's been a really long road. I've had a lot of setbacks. I think the hard work I've put in, especially over the past few weeks, make it worthwhile. To be back on the pitch and to win was a very nice feeling for me. So for Luke Shaw, he's back on the pitch and he played for the side of England. And I know when England is going to be playing against Netherlands on Wednesday, Shaw is going to be in the starting 11 for the side of England. No doubt about that. So in so doing, we anticipate that a lot is really going to be coming in through from the side of Luke Shaw and the others. But left back, I know it's going to be depending on the fitness levels of Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw. If we obviously start off the season when all these are really fit, there will be no reason for Manchester United to obviously get in a left back. But if during the preseason one gets injured all towards the end of the summer transfer window, because the season starts on the 11th for the side of Manchester United, I think the 10th, as we host Man City, and we also open up the league on Friday, you know, against which team are we opening up with? Let me even check. I'd even forgot, you know. Manchester United will open up with Fulham at Old Trafford. So it shows you that we are here to see to it that United will obviously play that beautiful game of football. So for me, I'm just excited on to Luke Shaw getting back, and I think he'll obviously get us out of what we've gone ahead to be calling in tension of the left back side. And Man United are really doing the needful, obviously get this guy back and pray to it that he's really fully fit to get everything over the line. Now we are having a Gabadan Kasule. Where was I? Left back. Is there a possibility of Casemiro remaining? Yeah, it is there, but it's really minimal. It's really minimal. But I tell you, Casemiro is one of those players that the board wants out. And even Erik ten Hag wants out, and Casemiro is like pleading to stay at the club of Manchester United. Then Freddy Kabaya, I'm just happy to see him at Old Trafford. Then there is Tomohimbise Obadia. David, good morning. I thank you for the show. Thank you for watching it through. Abraham Mwanza, welcome to United. Joshua Zirkzee, that's what he meant. Red Devil Studio, my mate, how are you? Long time. Good show, bro. Thank you for watching in, my brother. Thank you for obviously keeping it the United Matters channel. By the way, Red Devil Studio has a YouTube channel. You can as well obviously follow him up. He really keeps you up to date with the latest hot gist and tea concerning Manchester United. Then Saint Chakaleka, well done Ineos. You are making us proud and giving us hope. At least you are having many negotiations. Yeah, and by the way, they've gone ahead to get 3 green lights from 3 different players, right? That Manchester United wants to sign. One, they first got the green light from from Matthias de Ligt. That is Bayern Munich, and United is holding intensive talks with Bayern Munich, and in time from now we can get a here we go from the side of Bayern Munich. Secondly, they went ahead obviously get green light for Manuel Ugarte, and Manuel Ugarte went ahead to see to it that he won the midfield battle between Brazil and Uruguay, and you all know who plays in that midfield. It was Bruno Guimaraes, Paqueta, name it. This guy came in through, sat them down, and won that midfield battle and was playing as a CDM for the side of Uruguay. It shows you exactly how good this guy is. So, 3 players Man United are interested in. Green light has been given from the side of Joshua Zirkzee, Matthias de Ligt, and Manuel Ugarte. I agree with you, Chakaleka, on what you've said that Ineos are making us proud because they're really in very many negotiations and they've gone ahead to get green light, meaning that they haven't gone ahead to hit a miss as it stands at this juncture, right? So that's really great. Collins Ogweno, almost every day. We are tired of almost. You know, the problem you people get is that you don't pay a lot of attention to detail, right? Because this is the first time Fabrizio Romano has come out and told us that the deal is almost there. The deal has been there, and it was, I think, yesterday but one when we got green light from Joshua Zirkzee, and personal terms you are really agreed. That's what you people tend to forget. But all what you have to know and bear in your mind is that every time Fabrizio comes in through, he gives us an update. Like yesterday, Fabrizio Romano and David Austin gave us an update that personal terms have gone ahead to be agreed. Now, what you want to hear is a here we go, and you're going to hear it, but there are processes in which a deal has to obviously travel to reach what we call the completion level. So let's not come in here and obviously try to rush things. I'm not going to come out here and really put out fake news because I'm not that kind of person who really entertains fake news. I'm that kind of person who comes in through to give you the best of the best that is really received from different sources that are really trusted and accurate. So I understand your impatience, Mr. Collins, but I tell you, I'm not going to come out here and really call a spade a big spoon. I'll call a spade, and I'll bring you news that is really over there for you to consume, that is really concrete and confirmed, right? So very soon, here we go is going to be coming in through, because I see it happening anytime from now. Almost Agho, good morning. What about João Neves? João Neves is a very good player, but Manchester United doesn't have that money. 100 million euros. Others speculate that it should be 130 million euros release clause, to be triggered. And you can't pay 100 million euros in the situation where we're in. You want to get into centre backs, you want to get in CDM, a striker, and so on and so forth, meaning that you rather get one deal over the line, and that deal should be that deal of Ugarte. Let him come in through the midfield, and maybe we'll look at João Neves later. That is it. Then Joshua Zami. Good morning, all. Good morning, Joshua. Then almost ago, how about Zirkzee and Delete and Gerard Braithwaite? Delete talks between Manchester United and Bayern Munich are on, and they're discussing the structure of the deal, meaning that Manchester United agreed to pay that amount of money, and that is 43 million pounds, right? Meaning that they're really agreeing on how to pay that amount of money. Then for Joshua Zirkzee, I've just told you that we are almost there, and today we might really get a here we go, as it's really very, very close. Very, very close. Then Gerard Braithwaite, United is like, we are not going to come in through and pay 75 million pounds as the asking price from the side of Everton, and Man United don't want to obviously fall a victim and obviously be really paying the taxes they used to pay because of what they've gonna hit obviously be doing in the previous years. So they're like, we'd rather go in for Joshua Zirkzee, and that's why they're still pushing in for Lenny Yoro, because they believe maybe the deal of Gerard Braithwaite is not going to be possible this summer transfer window. Then Godfrey Sebiti, thank you for watching through, and Capo Samson, at least we have hope. Yeah, that is it. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Joshua Zirkzee deal almost there. Mason Greenwood transfer update, that is latest. Jadon Sancho returning to Carrington today. Will Erik ten Hag allow him to obviously take part into the first team training alongside his other teammates? Big question. And lastly, what do you make about Luke Shaw and his excitement to obviously have a kick of a ball ever since he really missed out to play for the club of Manchester United? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later as the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum.